5B. Who would have thought in late June we'd be in the situation where I'd be addressing you all again on a video in order to speak with all of you. If we go back to when we finished in March, I just want to remind you how amazingly well we all did, how much progress you made over the course of the year. I just want to say, thank you so much for all the effort that you've made to bridge those gaps. And I've tried to express that in your reports, how well we have done as a class to develop that independence that we should all have to try and succeed, to become a success in the future. And that's going to be my theme today. Is what does it take? What does it take to become a success? What does it take to be the best you can be? And this lockdown, I think, has been a really good example of challenging us to either be, able to accept what's going on and go get on with the bare minimum, or really become a success and be the best person and fight through those challenges. And I think many of you have done that. And I think even if you haven't, it's a great opportunity, ending off the year, for us to have this discussion and to look forward to the future, because that's what's important. Year 5 is important, but it gets more important next year. It'll get more important the year after. So I just wanted to say, it's been an absolute pleasure this year, up until March, and it's been a pleasure actually seeing you do so well in the home learning. It must have been such a challenge, and I understand that, and I thank your parents for their support in what is such a challenging time, where you can't come into school, and there's so many things being in class, being part of a school, that you miss if you're at home by yourselves. So I really do appreciate all the efforts that have gone into it. We'll start off with, so throughout this video I'm going to be looking at some frequently asked questions kind of thing, or frequently messaged questions that are sent to our Year 5 email. It's been great to get so many emails from a good few of you. I haven't heard as much from others, but that's absolutely fine. I've got into contact with every single family of 5B, which has been great. But keep those coming, keep communicating with me. It's just so nice to hear from all of you. To start off is all the work that you've been sending, which has been fantastic to see. It's fantastic to see how you're getting on. Obviously, watching the videos, listening to the audios, watching and doing your topic work. It's been great to see all that work come in, and just you coming into communication with us just allows us to keep in touch with you. So this is just literally some work, literally from the last 2 weeks, which has been fantastic to see, and the work quality is still being consistently competent. We've got Ralph's there, we've got Harry's, we've got Finley's, we've got Eleanor's, we've got Emia's, Amber's, Abidan's, Donald's. So these are the children. It's been really nice to see how often you have got into touch with us. Obviously, you're not the only children. There's been others, but this is just over the last week or so. So if you feel really proud of a piece of work, or you want me to have a look at something, or please make sure that you send it in, because it really is nice to see how you're getting on with the work that we have planned for you. It's really fantastic to see, and also to see you do the work with a smile on your face. Some pictures of you doing your work. It's really, really nice. So that's really good. Thank you very much. It's been amazing to have such lovely feedback from your parents, and I thank your parents, because actually I need to thank them for the great work that they do at home to support you. So thanks to them, and thanks obviously, of course, to you for getting on with the work yourselves. A lot of emails just catching up, just giving a little bit of information about how your day's going, knowing that you're okay and you're getting on with your week, and you're doing a couple of things here and there. It's just really nice to hear from you, and it kind of brings a smile to my face when I get that feedback from you. Over the course of the home learning period, Mr. Saul and I have been really at it at trying to get as many videos done as possible. What we aimed to do was to try and cover the whole curriculum over the course of the year. So now this KS2 Maths at Home, which is pretty much now St Helens Maths, is just a great opportunity if you want to catch up on anything. All of the concept, or if not all, most of the concepts are there for you to learn. They're short videos. Thank you to all that watch the videos. I think I get if I do a lesson, I get around 40, which is not ideal, of course. It's about half of the year group. But I'm going to get into that in a bit. But for those who do, you really are going to reap benefits. Even though you're not in class, you're going to reap the benefits of having someone teach you how to do the concepts. We've done quite a few new concepts. We did a week of fractions, which many of you did really well. Angles, things that we would have covered in the school. And if you're watching these videos and you're keeping in touch, that's really, really important. So I think those you've really interacted well with daily maths. Daily maths has some good views every single day. So keep an eye out. It's 20 minutes of your time with morning maths, maybe half an hour, just to try and focus and listen and get something out of us and get something out of what you're doing with the work. There are playlists, as Mr. Saul said in his maths video. There are playlists where you can go and have a look at whole concepts. So go and have a look at that. KS2 Maths at Home, which is pretty much St Helens Maths now. I do reference to you specifically in your maths lessons. There's been quite a few questions, and it's got less because we've set much less mathematics over the course of the home learning period. With regards to mathematics has been fantastic, but it has had some technical issues. The technical issues are on the side of mathematics. It's not on the side of us at school. So I completely understand how challenging it must be for you to motivate yourselves to do the best that you can when you don't have the school setting where it's an obligation to sit down and really work hard. And I completely understand how challenging it must be for you to motivate yourselves to do the best that you can when you don't have the school setting where it's an obligation to sit down and really work hard. You have a choice to try and normalize your educational experience. You have a choice to make the most out of your educational experience. And to make the most out of your educational experience is you using every opportunity to learn, watching every video, reading every piece of information, having a set routine. What am I doing at 9 o'clock? What am I doing at 10? These are the things. When you get up from the weekend on Monday, you know that this is your school time. Think about yourself. Think about what you want to achieve. If what you want to achieve is nothing, and you find school work a waste of time, then that's your decision. That is your decision. I did a lesson in RE last week about freedom involving responsibility. You might say that you're not given that much freedom as a child because you have to go to school and you have to be in lessons at this time and this time and this time. That's because us adults with responsibility understand that it's so important for you to develop that responsibility. Now, I understand that at school you can develop that responsibility quite easily in working hard because you're in the class. Mr. Blom's making sure that you're working. But now you have a new type of freedom that is forced upon you. You have the freedom of choice now. You have the freedom of choice as to how hard you're going to work in class. And is that choice going to be made based on how you're feeling now? Don't fancy it. Or is it going to be made on, actually, I want to have the best start to year 6 possible? Think of how well we've done this year as a year group. With your freedom to choose, comes responsibility. And this goes full circle with this image I have over here. Staying above the line, it's called. And in the middle there, it says, I don't know if you can see it, it says choice. You have a choice. Throughout your life, you're going to have this choice. You could go above the line, where you can take ownership of yourself. Own your work. Own your achievements. Own your failures. Failures are part of life. Be accountable for those successes and failures, and be responsible for them. That is going to make you what is called in this document, in this picture over here, a victor. Victor comes from the word victory. Someone who is victorious. And I'm talking about even if you fail, you're going to be victorious. Or you could go below the line. You could blame others. You could blame the coronavirus. You could make excuses. What better way to make excuses now? Or you could deny. And that is where you become the victim. Now, these are quite complex ideas. But you'll understand what I mean because this is something that I've been teaching all year. Become the victor. Be the best you can be. Not just now, in year 6. Ask yourself, are you going to take ownership? Are you going to be accountable? And are you going to be responsible? I'll leave that with you. It's to make you feel excited, because all of you have amazing potential, amazing opportunities in life. We're so lucky. Are you going to make the most of it? I've had really few questions regarding. Sorry, let me check if the audio is working. Yeah, I've had really few questions regarding the work, which is good to hear, good to see, because that means you're working hard. There was a couple of questions when I gave you multiplication, because it wasn't just like 4, 3, 2 times 5. You maybe struggled to maybe understand what was going on. And these questions, kind of questions, will come in your tests. They won't just give you 4, 3, 2 times 5. They'll ask you it in different ways. So this one over here was an interesting one, because what it did, it gave you like tokens, place value tokens, and it asked you to represent it as a multiplication calculation. Let me show you how this works. You see this over here? That's 1,000. That's 100. These are 3 tens, and that is 2 ones. So what that would be is that'd be 1,132. Then you'd say to yourself, okay, I've got 1,132, 2 1,132, and 3 1,132s. So I have times 3 of that amount. And then you just be calculating that. So when it comes to reasoning and when it comes to questions that are just slightly different, read them carefully and try and understand what they are trying to get you to do. But apart from that, all the questions have been, I have been able to do the work. Here is my work. And that's really, really good, because that means that the work is attainable, which is important for when you're working at home. And the videos and audios and all that help has been useful. Just to finally, sometimes children will say, I'm struggling with fractions, I'm struggling with this. So what I've done is I've shared playlists from the KS2 Maths at Home. And if you would like to know how to do that, on the channel, if you go playlists, you've got all of these things that will help you. So for example, if you're struggling with fractions, start with the 3 and 4 fractions and then go over here. It says fractions. I might have to change that to 5 and 6 fractions. And then you'll be, seriously, there's about 20 videos there. If you'd want to, you become a fractions expert. So there you go. That's with that one. And then finally, to end off, I'm sure, well, hopefully, you maybe wonder how I've been getting on. So what I decided to do is I wanted to get fit, and I decided to do a lot of running. I'm very slow, but I think I've improved quite a lot. So I started off with 7.5 minutes a K, and I've got it down to 6.54 minutes a K. And I'm doing about 5K most days. So I've done 30 seconds a kilometer quicker since 2 months ago, which I'm pretty proud of, If you saw in the video when we did a maths lesson on area, I was sorting out my garden because the grass just wasn't in great condition. So I raked all the grass up. Well, as you can see, most of the grass in this picture over here. And then what I did is I planted seeds, and I looked after I just kind of used it as a hobby to look after the grass, watered it daily. And this is where it is at the moment. So this is about halfway through. It's still a bit of patches. And then this was yesterday morning when I took a picture of my cat, Belle. So I'm very, very proud of that. I think that's pretty cool. But anyway, I'm not going to go too far into it. I hope you have a wonderful summer. Recharge your batteries. Make sure that you start the year with a bang and do your best. You can still succeed. I believe in all of you. Well done.